Good morning, everybody. We're going to be getting into week 6 now, which is all about academic reading strategies. Before I get into talking about my Foundations Lab, I do want to point out one thing under assessment. Where it says SQ3R reading technique, just ignore that. That was a fluke in this publication. SQ3R reading technique is not mentioned at all in chapters 5 and 7, so this will just frustrate you, so just let it go. So the first thing we're going to do is go under MyFoundationsLab. Now, MyFoundationsLab is a specialized software for reading and writing, and it's going to take you through all sorts of exercises. So let's go under MyFoundationslab Path Builder. Now, this is my grade book, so you don't want to be into that. That's not the first site you're going to see. So I'm going to go in as a student. And this is the first thing you should see. Now, I will alert you to know that I've already done some of this, so you will have to just kind of follow along with what I've done here. So access your learning path. You're going to want to be under the reading, access your learning path. You can see here we have a reading fundamentals, kind of a module type looking icon. We have a little pencil. That pencil icon says that we need study. The gold star means I've mastered something. So here under reading fundamentals, we have 3 topics with 12 activities. So I'll go into the topics. Now, before we go any further, I must tell you, this number 1, take the skills check for reading fundamentals. I've already done that, so I cannot reset this. But you will, this whole screen will come up like this. This part 2 and 3 will be completely grayed out, so you will not be able to do that. You will have to go into take the skills check. When you go over to here, it will say skills check. Mine says review or retake. I can't even do that. So it will say skills check. You check on that, and you're going to be going through, I believe there's 14 questions. So go through that, hit submit test at the very bottom of the last page of the very last question, which is question 14, and then it will come up and it'll develop your learning path. So first of all, you're going to do the skills check. Then it will develop your learning path, and you'll be able to find out what topics. For me, after doing my learning path, I had 3 topics that I needed to review. I needed pre-reading, active reading, and summarizing and paraphrasing. So under pre-reading, these are my activities. I have an overview, and I cannot do any of these other activities till I do my overview. And when I look at my overview, it's going to say, here's my overview. And it's just going to go through a little media pre-reading overview. And it's going to tell me what pre-reading or previewing means. It's going to go through all of that. So this is very, very nice, very easily done. So now I'm going to want to go back to my learning path. So it says go to learning path. And I'm going to go, I've done my overview. See, I've already done it, so that's clicked. Now I can go into animation. I cannot do any of these till I do my overview and my animation, or my overview. Then I can go into any 4 of the other 4. This says my score was 100%. I didn't have to take a test, I had to read. If I wanted to review it, I can go back in. So now under animation, I am going to look at my animation pre-reading. And what this is, it is a video.
Welcome. As you watch this animation, you can read and view at your own pace by using the rewind and pause buttons on the control bar. You can also replay the animation by pressing the replay button on the final screen.
So that's the pre-reading, or I mean the animation. Some people are auditory learners, some are visual learners. So this gives us all sorts of ways to view what we need to learn. So I'm going to go back to my learning path, and you can see, because I've done this before, I've gotten a gold star. I mastered my animation, and I got 100% in review. So then there's recall, post-test, whatever. So then after I'm done with this one, I will go on to my active reading. Same way, review, animation, recall, apply your learning and your post-test. Now what I want to point out to you is that your learning, you only get 2 chances. Post-test, only 2 chances. Your score will show up just like it did here with my pre-reading. My score showed up, and then if I wanted to do any review, it could show up. So that's very important. Now let's just say you just cannot get this and you want to do some extra practice. You can go up into here and do the extra practice. And there's all sorts of things that you can review here. Under the reading fundamentals totally, there's 194 questions. This is going to tell me how much time you spent. Now let's just say you just are not understanding pre-reading. You just don't get it. So you went in here and you looked at this passage. And you looked at that and you did all that. And then you even looked at the animation. You went through the overview to see how many things you've looked at. See, this will tell me what you've looked at, what you haven't looked at. And then you're going to close this out. What this is going to tell me is how much time you've spent here. So, okay, you've worked it, you've gotten so many correct, but say here under pre-reading and identify the certain types of genre, I see that it's 30 seconds, that you flew through these questions, and your correct was only 40%. I'm going to suggest that you kind of take a little bit more time in that. So that's what the extra practice is. So then we're going to go back to our learning path, or actually our reading fundamentals, and we're going to go through all 3 of the areas where I had to go through. You might have different ones. You may have mastered it. If you've mastered it, you don't have to go any further. If you get a gold star in your reading skills, you don't have to go any further than that. So so these are the ones that my topics that I have to study. So then I can just jump right to the post-test to demonstrate topic mastery if I'd like to. And then again, like I say, you don't have to go through the apply your learning, any of that. If you're just done and you're ready, you've gone through everything else here, you can just go ahead and take that. Then we'll go back to our reading learning path and see how it tells me that I've completed 2 of the 12 activities. On my topics, it still says 0 out of 3. So it's going to show me exactly how I've done. So that's what you're going to have to do this week. So I'm hoping that this was a little bit easier for you to understand than trying to struggle through it on your own. If not, please let me know. If you have other questions, please let me know through your individual forum, or if it's a question that the entire class may benefit from, please feel free to go under week 6 general questions and post your question there. Okay, you guys, week 6, we're almost done with the class. Take it easy, and I will be talking to you over the next week. Good luck.